Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Wednesday, December 14th. I'm your host, Kate Walker. As if the healthcare system didn't already have a burden on its back from the COVID-19 pandemic, they're now facing record high patient volumes and wait times with respiratory illnesses and the flu season combined. As the holiday season has approached, there's concern over what this will mean for nurses and other healthcare staff who typically take time off during this time of year.
There's a lot of stress on our system as we speak, especially our emerge departments. There's a lot of people waiting a very long time to be seen. And we anticipate, as the holidays roll in, that it's probably going to get worse because the availability of primary care practitioners might decrease because they take some time off during the holidays. So that will increase the reliance on our emerge departments.
The president of Doctors Nova Scotia said sacrificing personal time is part of the job for healthcare professionals. During a meeting of the legislature's Standing Committee on Health yesterday, health officials told MLAs that Nova Scotia is gaining ground in the surgery backlog battle, but the province remains near the bottom in the country on meeting overall wait time benchmarks.
I think we do need a national comprehensive HHR plan. We need to, it's not good enough for Nova Scotia to say, well, we'll just pay more and attract nurses from Alberta. And then we need a national HHR plan. We need people to get their time off and have a work-life balance. We need to work with our federal partners because, quite frankly, they have the money.
The CEO of Nova Scotia Health says the authority is in the thick of a multi-year plan to improve access to surgery. The Houston government is expanding eligibility for the Heating Assistance Rebate program in hopes of helping Nova Scotians struggling with the rising cost of living. It was announced today more people will now be eligible for the program and the amount per household will also increase.
Too many Nova Scotian homes, of over 200,000, still rely on home heating oil, and they have been left vulnerable to wild price fluctuations. We know we need to get more Nova Scotians off oil. We know it's the right thing to do for the big picture issues, like the fight against climate change, but even more important, it's the right thing to do for families on oil that are struggling to get by.
The HARP rebate will increase this winter from $200 to $1,000. Households with an income of up to $85,000 will be eligible. Applications for the expanded program will open January 30th.
The mix of inflation, its impact on people's incomes, and the cost, of course, of home heating oil and energy and electricity means that we need to revisit in a permanent way what the program looks like. But for now, this will certainly bring relief to Nova Scotians.
Anyone who has already qualified for a HARP rebate this year will automatically receive an additional payment in the new year.
I don't want to give the impression that this is not good news, because it is. I just think there's a lack of vision and a lack of philosophy behind how we actually need to adjust our structure of programs in government to deal with an ongoing inflation problem that's not going anywhere.
Another incentive from the Houston government announced today. Before Christmas, all households receiving income assistance will get an additional one-time payment of $250. Full-time foster families will receive $1,000. A new nonprofit radio station will soon serve the South Shore community in Nova Scotia. The Coastal Villages Community Radio, CVCR, will cover the market between Petite Riviere and Vogler's Cove in Lunenburg County, as well as the digital world. Don Sedgwick, a book publisher and a broadcaster, assembled a team of veteran broadcasters and community members who are passionate about telling the stories of the South Shore, which will range from what's going on in the community, public affairs, guests who can enlighten about the state of the ocean and the environment, and four-season gardening.
I was at the LaHaye Bakery, the wonderful LaHaye Bakery, which is a landmark in this area, having coffee with Lou, or about to, and the owner, Gail Watson, said, "Oh, what brings you to the bakery?" And I said, "Well, I'm having a meeting about starting a community radio station." And she looked surprised and then delighted and said, "Well, where's it going to be?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." She said, "If you got 5 minutes." And she took me across the road, and she had just bought the old bank building across from the bakery and said, "Well, we're looking for a good tenant. How would you like to have the radio station right here?" So I was able to go to that meeting with Lou 10 minutes later and say, I think I got a place for our studio.
The station in LaHave will be housed inside what was once home to the village's only bank branch, which just happened to have space for CBCR. Nobody draws a salary at this station, which will depend upon fundraising to operate, and they're starting cautiously, a Saturday a week with 12 hours of programming in the new year. Well, it's not every day that your barber is on wheels. Mohammed Al-Nabelsi became a licensed barber in Syria in 2015 and came to Canada in 2019. He now owns Al-Nabelsi Mobile Barber Shop housed inside a van. It has a marble sink for washing hair, dryers, clippers, a mirror, a custom chair, a TV, and a wheelchair lift. His business is designed to serve immigrants, the elderly, and the disabled, along with his previous clientele. There's a generator attached to the front of the van, which also is equipped with a water tank and water heater that can provide hot running water in 2 minutes for doing shampoos. The mobile shop has been in business for 2 weeks. A team of women in Truro are coming together to boost employability skills for women entering the workforce. The free 11-week program will begin in the new year as a pilot project with FutureWorks. SaltWire's Brendan Creamer has the details.
Starting on January 6th, this empty classroom at the FutureWorks office in Truro will be full of students looking to brush up on their employment skills. The Employment Center will be offering a free 11-week program designed for women who are looking to enter the workforce. It is part of a pilot project funded by Employment and Social Development Canada. Tamara Tynes-Powell and Lauren Galbraith are leading the project. They spoke about the program in detail.
During the first 8 weeks of the program, we'll be in-class programming that offers different certifications such as first aid, WMIS, OHS, diversity in the workplace, and many more, as well as sessions on career exploration, so figuring out what skills people already have based on their lived experience as well as their work experience too.
Overall, the two are enthusiastic to help women in the community.
The excitement we have over this is extreme. We're both really enthusiastic about this. We both have a passion for the work that we're doing through this program, and we want to make sure that this is a safe space for individuals in our community who identify as women to be able to come here and build their confidence and gain skills that will give them a brighter future and make them stronger members of our community.
Anyone looking to apply can contact Tynes-Powell and Galbraith at 902-956-0964. This is Brendan Creamer in Truro with the SaltWire Network.
It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Trayvon Clayton, who is fundraising with Game Changers 902 to bring kids in African Nova Scotian communities together over the holidays.
I want to ask a little bit about this project. Where did this idea come from to help pay it forward to the African Nova Scotia community?
So it was honestly like just something that came from the top of my mind. Like growing up as a kid, I did cop shop. Like I know Halifax Regional Police just did a cop shop. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
And so like when I was a kid, I got the opportunity to do that, but not every kid from my community gets those opportunities. And I don't think it's been happening recently. Like I seen one kid from my community do cop shop recently, but I want to make that something that kids can do every year from my communities, like African Nova Scotian communities. I want to help with the parents so that they can afford the gifts for their kids, so it takes some pressure off of their chests, off of their shoulders. And so one day when I was just sitting home, I was just like, yo, I could make this into a thing for the African Nova Scotian community instead of like just cop shop making it a once a year thing. I was like, I could do this for multiple kids. And the whole purpose of it is to reconnect the dots for the youth. Like over the past couple months, over the past couple summers, there's been lots of violence between my communities and between each other. And so it made me feel like we are slowly isolating from one another, even though we are all like African Nova Scotian communities, we are just falling into our own. And so I wanted to reconnect the dots so kids can grow up to be like, hey, I remember you, I did the community Christmas with you 20 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. So I want that to help the kids grow and build relationships.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of SaltWire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
Jake O'Connor is a rookie defenseman with the Halifax Max of the Nova Scotia U18 Major Hockey League. Jake, you're in Chicoutimi right now. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing up there.
Yeah, we're playing a tournament, and it was a fun bus ride up. It was long, and on the way we played Rothsay, and we stopped there to play a game. So it's been fun so far. So I'm looking forward to it.
You mentioned the bus ride up, and I saw a video on the Max social media channel of Rookie Idol. I'm going to play a clip, and then I got to ask you what exactly we just heard.
I've traveled so far to change this lonely life. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me.
Who was singing?
That was Kenzie Wagner. He was singing.
Did anybody actually win Rookie Idol, or is it just for fun?
Yeah, actually, Cohen Hickey, he was in a final matchup. Him and Kenzie were in a final matchup, and Cohen actually won. So
you can follow the Max on social media to check out their game results at the CCM Challenge in Quebec. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now to see what's coming up in the forecast. We're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, still hard to believe that we managed to avoid that storm system here in HRM. It brought heavy snow and rain to Cape Breton, snow across the north and eastern shores of Nova Scotia, PEI, New Brunswick, but we just managed to dodge it all here in Halifax. Now, however, the weather forecast as we go for the second half of this week into the weekend will remain unsettled. There is another system on the way too. This evening we will have partly cloudy skies and the temperature will be near -4. We wake up with temperatures rising overnight, so we start the day near 3 degrees Thursday morning with mainly cloudy skies, and we will have a chance of showers, and that chance of showers will continue throughout the day on Thursday with a high temperature up to 5 degrees. These showers will be generated in northerly winds that will gust 30 to 50 kilometers per hour throughout the day on our Thursday. We will have a chance of showers as well on Friday, and then a more defined low-pressure system will move in on the weekend. That is set to bring mainly rain to Halifax, maybe a bit of wet snow over higher terrain initially. Gusty winds will also accompany the system. I'm keeping an eye on that. More updates as it approaches. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to SaltWire.com. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at SaltWire Today. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.